Coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, Professor Charles Dokubo, has said that reintegration of beneficiaries of the Presidential Amnesty Program will be the main cross of his administration. Professor Dokubo stated this during his maiden press conference in Abuja, added that there will be no new entrant into the program during his tenure.
If you can have food security, I think we'll go a long way, because nations like China, they've defeated hunger, and that's why they are great. So agriculture is a very potent and very good vehicle for this administration, so we need to push it. And those that have left idle, we are going to resuscitate it and make it viable, so that those in the agricultural sector will also have benefit from it. They could work there, earn their money, and live a life that they want to live.
The coordinator said that the agricultural initiative of the program would be sustained, as farming is vital to the growth of the nation.
For a long time, the people of the Niger Delta have been marginalized, repressed, and also fought for what I call a liberation. I believe in doing that, the amnesty program was to alleviate the problems of the Niger Delta region. In doing that, there are various packages that have been set up. You must know about the DDR, disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration. These are the things that these are the concepts that drive this the amnesty program. The amnesty program in this country is a novel concept. So what I've tried to do is to set up a commission to look at all the units in this amnesty office, so that they could give me a good advice and guidance, so as to pursue a path that will take this amnesty to the next level. It has been on for some time, and I believe most Niger Deltans have also benefited from this system in terms of training, vocational, educational, offshore and onshore, and all that it takes to drive this organization.
Speaking on the state of things before he came, the newly appointed amnesty boss said he has set up a committee that will help him look at the current status of the program and possible way forward, and also use the medium to clear the air on the possibility of him probing his predecessors.
I'm just trying to draw a path that I will follow. Whatever problem that has existed here is not my problem. It's the problem of the government to do whatever they like with it. I don't investigate people.
Professor Dokubo, who gave the committee 2 weeks ultimatum to submit a report on ways to move the office to the next level, said that the committee will draw the path that will form his mission and vision, adding that the Presidential Amnesty Program was meant to nurse the Niger Delta to health. From Abuja, I'm Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television.
The National Executive Committee, NEC of All Progressive Congress APC, says it will take final decision on the party's executive tenure extension on Monday. National Chairman of the party, John Odigwe Oyegun, and Publicity Secretary Balaji Abdullahi announced this in Abuja at the end of the 3-hour meetings with the state governor elected on party's platform and the National Working Committee. Oyegun assured that APC was back as one united and focused party, strongly behind Buhari and its executive across the state.
Today, the governors, the National Working Committee of our party decided to sit and look at the issues that were seemingly dividing us. And I want to say to you, with absolute satisfaction, absolute pride, that all the issues that you have been commenting about in the last 2 days have been completely and totally resolved. We are back in business as one united and happy.
On his part, The party's spokesman said technical committee constituted to look into the issue will submit its report to enable the NEC to look at it.
That will be preempting the report of the committee. I mean, to say that the meeting on Monday is to endorse congresses or begin to plan for congresses. We don't have any evidence that the committee is recommending that there will be congresses. The position of NEC is that those who are currently serving in executive positions at all levels in the party should, at the expiration of their tenure in June, continue in acting capacity. That position still stands. Now, when the committee submits its report tomorrow, or when the NEC meets on Monday, we will now listen to the advice to be given to the committee, to be given to the party. Now, the NEC may now decide if the committee recommends that the position of NEC should be maintained, then there will be no issue. Then the president himself and those who have concern on whether the action that has been taken violates the constitution will have more confidence in the position we have taken. But should the committee recommend that the congresses be held, then NEC will consider the report at the same time and decide whether to reverse its earlier position or not. But as I speak to you, there is no evidence, there is nothing that suggests that the committee will recommend this way or that way.
The party had on Tuesday constituted a 10-member technical committee headed by Governor Simon Dalong of Plateau to advise its leadership on the way forward on the tenure issue, following President Muhammadu Buhari's recent opposition to the NEC approval of tenure extension for the NWC and all executives of the party at all levels across the country. The Independent National Electoral Commission has issued a notice of election for July 14 governorship election in Ekiti State. The resident electoral commissioner in the state, Professor Abdul Ganiu Raji, at the press conference in Ado Ekiti, said this was in accordance with Section 30 of the Federal Electoral Act 2010 as amended. Raji explained that the section provided that INEC must give a notice of election not later than 90 days to the governorship election. According to the notice, campaign by the parties for the election will begin on April 15 and end in the midnight of July 12. He advised the party to submit the names of their agents by June 30th. With a warning that any party that failed to meet with the deadline will not have agents for the election. As part of the effort to ensure that more people register for the election, the REC said 531 registration centers have been created. He noted that continuous voter registration in the new registration center will run between Wednesday, April 11 and 16 simultaneously across 177 registration areas in the states. According to him, the exercise became necessary in order to enhance more participation in the election. REC added that 513,000 PVC have been distributed in the state, saying 218,000 cards had yet to be collected for those who registered before April 2017.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanette.
Nanette?
Nanette offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanet, service with a smile.
Stakeholders of the main opposition party, People Democratic Party, in Southwest met in Lagos to assess the state of the party ahead of the governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun states. The leaders declared their readiness to take over the leadership of the Southwest states in 2019 election. At the meeting were the Deputy National Chairman, South, Edayemi Akinwumi, and a former National Secretary, Chief Ebenezer Babatope, Senator Adesheye Ogunlewe, a former Deputy Governor of Osun State, Erulu Olushola Obada, a former Lagos Deputy Governor, Akerele Bokno, and Jimmy Agbaje, among others. National Vice Chairman, South, Dr. Eddie Olafeso, who read the communique at the end of the meeting, said the stakeholders placed a premium on peace, reconciliation, and unity at every level in the party. He said the party resolved to work hard to ensure that every hand must be on deck as tasks to reclaim their lost ground and glory must be prosecuted firmly. The stakeholders demanded a level playing field from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, ahead of Osun and Ekiti elections, adding that PDP as a party will remain law-abiding and conform to regulation that governs the conduct of such elections in Nigeria.
The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has voted to retain monetary policy rate at 14%. The bank also retained the cash reserve ratio, CRR, at 22.5%, liquidity ratio at 30%, and the symmetric corridor at plus 200 minus 500 basis points around the MPR. The key interest rate serves as the national lending rate in the country. The CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, announced the decision of the committee shortly after the two-day MPC meeting held at the Apex Bank's headquarters in Abuja. Emefiele explained that the 9 members of the committee unanimously agreed to maintain the current monetary policy stance.
Committee welcomes narrowing of the exchange rate premium between the BDC segment and the investors and exporters window of the foreign exchange market. Overall, the committee noted that the recovery of the economy was strengthening in view of the return to growth of the services sector. As the fiscal sector continues to settle its outstanding liabilities, it reduces its domestic debt profile, thus increasing the liquidity of the banking system. However, the Monetary Policy Committee observed the increasing monetization of oil proceeds as evident in the growing FAC distribution relative to the 2017 levels of disbursements. Committee urged the government to initiate strong stabilization programs and to freeze the growth in its aggregate expenditure and FAC distributions in order to create savings badly needed to stabilize the economy against future oil price related shocks. Notwithstanding the general improvement in macroeconomic conditions, committee noted the rather slow pace of moderation of food inflation. It also took note of the potential risks of a pass-through from rising global inflation to domestic prices. Members, however, expressed confidence that the tight stance of monetary policy would continue to complement other policies of government in addressing some of the structural issues underlying the stickiness of food prices. The committee noted that at 14%, the policy rate was tight enough to rein in current inflationary pressures. The committee therefore reaffirmed its commitment to price stability conducive to sustainable and inclusive growth. The committee also believes that loosening could worsen the current account balance through increased importation. On the argument to hold, the committee believes that key variables have continued to evolve in line with the current stance of macroeconomic policy and should be allowed more time to fully manifest. In consideration of the foregoing, the committee decided unanimously by a vote of all members present to retain monetary policy rate MPR at 14% alongside all other policy parameters. Consequently, MPC voted unanimously to retain 1. MPR at 14%, 2. CRR at 22.5%, 3. Liquidity ratio at 30%, and 4. Asymmetric corridor at plus 200 basis points and minus 500 basis points around the MPR.
This is the first MPC meeting since November 2017. The meeting scheduled for January 22nd and 23rd, 2018 did not hold as the Apex Bank was unable to form a quorum as specified in the CBN Act 2007. Awesome Raffle, Ben Television.
As part of the social drive to educate and improve the welfare of the less privileged people in Aroshuku community in Abia State, the Southeast Zonal Women Leader of All Progressive Congress APC, Prophetess Sally Williams Shinebu, has awarded scholarship to 30 children of the community. According to Professor Shinebu, the purpose of the scholarship scheme, according to the APC women leader, was to prevent the beneficiary from early stage of hardship, which she experienced at an early stage when she lost her father. She said the provision of the scholarship scheme and the equipment provided had no political undertone, nor affiliated with any political party, but was single-handedly provided through a non-governmental organization, Angel Sally Foundation Empowerment Project. Prophetess Sally said the beneficiary of the scholarship scheme will enjoy it from nursery to primary education level.
What? Is it one family? Only it's one of this one. You're from another village. Another family. Okay. What is your name? What class? Primary. No. Primary. No. Okay. Thank you. So who is the mother?
She urged the Aroshuku women to be watchful over their children and never to allow their daughter to travel overseas, where she says some Nigerian young ladies were used as prostitutes. The APC women leader also provided sports facility to some community schools and empower Aroshuku women with equipment that will enable them to be self-employed.